Well, welcome back to the Happy Retirement Show. Thanks again for tuning in and joining us. We talked last week about Medicare, all things Medicare 101 and healthcare in retirement. Joining us again this week on the Happy Retirement Show is our guest, Alex Sieler. He's the Medicare advisor here on our team at Grayhurst Wealth Advisors, where all he does all day long is help people with their health coverage in retirement. And Alex, one of the big questions that we get from our clients is, I hear pros and cons between a Medicare Advantage plan. It sounds great, no cost to me. I get my dental, my vision, my prescription. It's all great, and it's basically, it feels like free. Or on the other side, I've got the supplement that doesn't cover my dental, my vision, my hearing. I've got to pay extra monthly money every month, and I've got to come up with an extra prescription plan. This is really costing me a lot more out of pocket. This seems like a no-brainer here on the Advantage. What's the pros? What's the cons? And help us figure out why people should or could do or would do one over the other.
Perfect. And again, thank you, Colin, for having me. Absolutely. Those are the biggest questions that we go through ourselves. And so, just to highlight, and we do this with all of our clients, we have some visuals that we'll send them and some charts that we'll send them, very easy read, just to really highlight that exact thing. Let's talk about pros and cons. We'll go Medicare Advantage first. Pros Medicare Advantage, 0 monthly premium. So everybody, when you get onto Medicare, you elect your Part B, you get that lovely little premium from Social Security. Some people view that as a tax on their taxes because as we talk about Social Security and Medicare, and you get your payroll check or pay at the end of the year, whenever it may be, you see those lovely itemized lines of paying into the state. And people go, well, gosh, I've been paying this and now I got to pay more. Well, a lot of times that's where Medicare Advantage is maybe a little bit more incentivizing because it's going to, hey, I'm not going to pay for this until I use it. It's a $0 monthly premium, meaning you're not going to pay any more than what your Part B premium is already. And then it's co-payments. And any more, what we look at with clients are, who's your primary care doctor? What hospital would you go to? What's the name of the system? What specialist do you see? And we look at that. And any more like primary care doctors, $0 copay to see them. So clients will go, well, wait a minute. That's great. $0 a month premium and primary care doctor is $0. That's great. Where does the cost come in? It's a pay for it as you use it kind of thing. So maybe go to the chiropractor. There's a copayment there. Anywhere, maybe I've seen that from $25 to $50 copayment. And each time that you go see them throughout the year. Maybe you have to do some inpatient hospital. And what we'll see typically is probably an average about $200 a day for up to the first 6 days. Something with Medicare Advantage that has a max out of pocket. So, gosh, I'm healthy today. What if I get hit by a bus tomorrow? There's that lovely, what they call max out of pocket. That is the absolute max a client could pay throughout the year out of their own pocket before the plan kicks in 100%. A lot of pros to that. Some of the cons to it can be, depending on your usage, it's network based. So are having to make sure you're seeing somebody or you're lined with a doctor within your network. When you're traveling, let's say you fall, break your leg, unfortunately, something like that, if that were to happen, whatever it may be, are, making sure that you find a doctor or hospital within the area. Another, I would say, going back to the pro side of Medicare Advantage, a lot of different perks with it, believe it or not. Free gym memberships, over-the-counter cards. So someone like myself that has allergies, and I have them all year round. You can use your over-the-counter card to cover things like Band-Aids, vitamins, allergy medicines, things like that from the insurance carrier. So there's a lot of perks like that. That's on the pro side. Con side, the biggest thing I'd say is because it's network-based. And what we do is we base off of what we know today when we work with clients. We want to know anything hereditary, like my side of the family, both on the male and female side of my family. Prostate cancer is big. We want to take that kind of stuff into consideration. Heart disease is big. What we don't go into is, what if I get hit by a bus tomorrow? Right. And so it's very situational. Medicare, and then you come over to Medicare Supplements pros and cons. The biggest pro with Medicare Supplements, you don't pay any more or any less depending on how much you use your Medicare. And the second biggest pro is there is no network. So it doesn't matter if you're, like we said before, if you're seeing Colin in Ohio, Alex in Nebraska, or somewhere in between on your road trip, your flight, if something were to happen, for you to find a doctor is very quick. There's no network. You don't have to worry about it. You go in there, hand them over your card, and you're done. And that's a huge perk. I would say a con to that is you are having to pay a monthly premium. Like Medicare Advantage, that includes dental coverage. The Medicare Supplement side does not. We have to find you some good dental coverage, even if you're only going to the dentist once or twice a year. And we have to make sure we get you good prescription drug coverage. And so, where you may have an extra couple $100 a month, add a couple $1,000s a year onto your monthly premiums, yearly premiums with Medicare Supplements, not having a network, not knowing what your fixed cost is going to be, are major pros to the business. And what I would tell you is, out of that, we get asked this all the time, of our clients, it's really 50-50 on who goes what way or the other. There's not really one that teeters one way or the other.
So it's not like, I think we talked about this before, it's not like there's a perfect one size fits all, one that makes the most sense.
Nope. And again, someone's health profile changes all the time. And it's not just based off their own health. What are their doctors accepting? What are their networks accepting? What changes did the insurance carriers make? And so we do reviews. That's why we do, kind of go back to what you and I talked about, our annual reviews at least once every year with clients.
Well, if you haven't gotten a Medicare review recently, go ahead and get that done now before the mail starts piling up. Get it on the calendar. Get it before you get busy this fall. Set up a time to visit with our insurance advisor, Alex. There's totally no cost for you to do that. And the great news is, and Alex, tell me if this is wrong, but whether or not they work with an insurance advisor like yourself as part of our team here, or if they call United Healthcare or Aetna direct, they're paying the same amount every month. Is that right, for the same plan?
Exactly. Yep. It does not matter if you're direct to the carrier or run through an insurance agent like myself. It doesn't. Yep. Has no bearing on their cost whatsoever.
So we're of the opinion, might as well have somebody else shop for you and find the best fit, because it's not going to cost you any extra money. So doesn't cost you anything, saves you time, and you've got an expert in your corner. Alex, we appreciate you joining us here this week on the Happy Retirement Show. If you've got a question for Alex or our team, go to ghwealthadvisors.com. And that's ghwealthadvisors.com. Or if you're watching on YouTube, click the link in the description below. If you're more old school, you'd like to give us a call, pick up the phone and dial 513-984-5999. We'll see you next time on the Happy Retirement Show.
Start building a more secure future for you and your family. Take the first step toward financial clarity by scheduling a no-cost, no-obligation consultation with Grayhurst Wealth Advisors. See if we're the right fit for you by scheduling a consultation. Call us today at 513-984-5999 or click the link in today's show description to get started.